Often overlooked, but in fact one of the most interesting corps in the base game, Inventrix. Hello and welcome to my tutorial on how to play the OG Science Corp and one of my favorite corporations in the game. Inventrix does not have classic combo potential in comparison to corps like Terraforming or Saturn systems. You don't go, oh, I have a lot of elf techs, I have to pick this corp. The bonus Inventrix provides is more subtle. In fact, there are only two niche situations where I think that I have to pick Inventrix. One of them is related to its ability. Being able to play cards 1 or 2 gens earlier than normal can be really good, but in the starting draft only one card draws my immediate attention. Kelp Farming. This card gives insane value for its cost, and even without Inventrix's bonus, it can often go down rather early. With Inventrix, however, you are often able to play this in Gen 2, 3 or 4, and then it is a game changer. Another instance of when you should definitely consider picking Inventrix is when you have a really strong science payoffs on hand, such as AI Central, Mass Converter, or Anti-Gravity Technology. With these cards, every science tech matters, and getting them down as early as possible is a priority. The last scenario when picking Inventrix is worth it is a rather sad one, namely when you have shit cards to begin with. Drawing 3 cards gives you a fighting chance and can save your early game if your starting draft is bad. Really, Inventrix is more flexible in its playstyle than you think. 45 mega credits is average, but when combined with 3 extra cards, this early game is not so shabby. You can regularly keep slightly less cards than you would with other corps, since you draw 3 more. This leaves you with more cash than you would think. Other than that, the early game is unspectacular, as your bonus only really kicks in the mid-game. Keep your eyes open for cards with global requirements, as these often get much better when played earlier. Cards like Bushes, Algae or Kelp Farming for example. Since almost all cards with global requirements, at least in the base game, are plant producers, you should pick up a few city cards along the way. But don't fool yourself and play bad cards with global requirements, such as Methane from Titan, just because you can play them earlier. One of the more famous Inventrix strategies is creatively named Super Inventrix. This basically just means that you play Adaption technology and then use the stacking effects of your corp and this project card to break the game. I've seen Kelp Farming in Gen 1 with this combo and preludes. Theoretically, you can even use Special Design to get a one-time triple effect, but in reality this is more of a gimmick. But one of Inventrix's clear strengths is that it has a head start on Planner. Cards are a limited resource, and if you're not extremely lucky to get insane card draw right from the get-go, then you're not going to compete with Inventrix on that milestone. Scientist sounds like a good award for Inventrix, but realistically, over the course of the game a lot can happen, and the one science tech or the corp won't matter that much in the end. One huge change comes with the addition of the Venus track. Inventrix's ability also works with Venus requirements, which opens up a whole new set of cards. Some of these are insanely strong, and others are just a nice change from the mainly plant-focused global requirement cards of the base game. The other expansions add almost no cards with global requirements, which is a little sad for Inventrix. But on the other hand, the expansion boards introduce 2 new milestones that can be pretty good. Ecologist and Tactician. Tactician should be obvious, as cards with global requirements are much easier to play for Inventrix. And since almost all cards with global requirements are either plant, animal or microbe tags, Ecologist is similarly favorable for this corp. Concerning Turmoil, Inventrix obviously likes the scientists. But Mars First and the Greens can also work well, as you will often play a ground game with Inventrix. In general, I think Inventrix is average from a power standpoint, but due to its ability, it can be really rewarding and fun to play if you know what you're doing. I hope you enjoyed my tutorial on Inventrix, and if you did, please leave a like and consider subscribing. See you in the next video.